Hi guys, just to let you know that this video is going to be a little bit different. This was supposed to be a happy video, just talking about the recent news that The Sims just dropped, but it ended up being a video of me talking about a lot of things. I was very emotional during the video. So keep in mind that in this video, a lot of times it was my feelings speaking and not necessarily my brain speaking. So I might have sounded harsh a few times. So yeah, just keep in mind that when I was recording the video, I was feeling very sad and angry. So yeah, that's it. Anyway, I'm just going to leave this video to you guys just because it's a very honest video and it's a real video of me expressing myself. And we are a tight, small community here, so yeah, why not? There will be no The Sims 5. When we talk about The Sims as an entertainment platform driven by our community, it's because we see the future of The Sims as more than any one title. Okay, this first sentence, do you get it? We're expanding the franchise to better serve the diverse needs of the growing number of Simmers around the world. Again, do you truly understand this? I'm also going to talk about in this video this new number of Simmers. The Sims will move beyond linear sequential Sims releases and offer more options for players than ever before. In other words, they're going to stop making The Sims 5, The Sims 6. They're going to stop that. They're going to stop this linear franchise. We're focused on creating a variety of games and experiences that will touch different categories across the simulated life genre, including cozy games, social and collaborative-based gameplay, mobile narrative games, and continued depth, improvements and modernization of The Sims 4, which will continue to be a foundational Sims experience. Maybe for some people this sounds good, but for me this is extremely devastating. So what they're saying here is basically The Sims 4 is the last game that you're going to get in this format. And then from now on, we are going to be making cozy games, which I love. I love cozy games, but I love The Sims. And I did not want The Sims to be replaced by a cozy game. Sorry, I'm probably getting too much into my nerves now. But so basically what they're saying here is they're going to focus more on cozy games, social and collaborative based gameplay, and they're going to focus on mobile. So I made a video here talking about the video games industry and how it's destroying The Sims. And literally, they just confirmed exactly what I thought was going to happen when I made that video. Mobile games, free games, online games are the games that are making the biggest amount of profit in the whole of the industry. And that's why they're like, you know what? This is not giving as much money as we could be making if we had another game. So we're going to just ditch The Sims. And we are going to start making these other profitable games, these shitty games that are free and that people just pay for cosmetic items, and that's how we're going to make our money. Let me explain my thoughts. I just released a lot of things that were in my head, but those thoughts were not organized. Oh my god, I'm so pissed. Sorry. So basically, right now in 2024, the most profitable games, the games that are making the biggest amount of money for companies, are games that are free, are games that are multi-platform, so like games that you can play on your phone as well as on your computer, as well as on console games. They are usually very superficial games as well, that the gameplay is very superficial. So those are the games that are giving the biggest amount of profits. Those are the games that are making millions right now. And EA knows that. And that's why they decided, you know what, The Sims as it is now it's not really working for us. It's not giving us as much money as it could be. So why don't we create one of those shitty games too, since it's so profitable? We make a shit game, very easy to make, very superficial, and we're going to make millions. Why not? Why are we going to keep spending money making this in-depth games, this complex, in-depth, cool games, if shitty games are more profitable? That's what's happening. That's what they mean by we focused on creating a variety of games and experiences that will touch different categories across the simulated life genre, including cozy games, social and collaborative-based gameplay, mobile narrative games, and continued depth. This is a lie, there's no depth. The Sims 4 is more superficial than The Sims 3, and they're going to continue making more and more superficial and shitty games. So basically what they're saying is we're going to stop The Sims 4, so make the most of it, because there'll be no The Sims 5, because now we are going to make shitty online games that we can charge hundreds of dollars for stupid cosmetic items. I'm joking. I don't know if this is exactly what they're going to do. Like, I don't know if this is exactly the plan to sell cosmetic items and have like a shitty, superficial online game. But to me, this is what it's telling me. And honestly, if you can't say that this is happening, then in what world are you living in? You can say goodbye to complex mechanics. You can say goodbye to in-depth gameplay. They're going to give you a very basic gameplay. They're going to give you a very basic game, and they're going to sell cosmetic items, and people are going to pay for it. People are going to pay for it because people are already doing that. In this article, they also talk about The Sims Freeplay, which it's a mobile version. And in The Sims Freeplay, you can't do anything without paying real money. For your sim to drink a glass of water, it takes real, 30 minutes in real life. It's impossible to play the game without spending real money. I'm sorry for the angry talk. I'm sorry for the angry talk. I can't hide my feelings. I'm so upset. I truly love The Sims. I've been playing The Sims since The Sims 1, and it makes me so sad to know that this experience is finished, and to know that the kids are not going to experience that anymore. My kids won't be able to experience that. I'm going to have to, unless they play the old titles. So that's really sad. It's really sad. Like, games are getting worse. Games are getting worse instead of games becoming more complex with more in-depth gameplay. No. It's going back in time. Games are getting worse. Anyway, so now something that I want to discuss is the new player base. So back in our time, if you're similar age, like I'm 28, so if you're a similar age to me, if you're from the same generation, then you grew up playing more complex games that you need to give time to get used to, games that you have to be patient to be able to achieve certain things, games that you have to use your brain to understand how to play. We grew up having to learn how to use computers. We grew up having to learn a lot of things if you wanted to play games. If you wanted to play games, you had to learn the mechanics of the game. You had to learn how to install a game. You had to learn how to use a computer. So we grew up with that, having to learn to do things in a computer. And nowadays, kids are growing up with phones and tablets. You literally don't need to learn anything. You just click on things and you watch things happen. Kids are growing up with TikTok. Kids are growing up with social media. Kids are growing up with things happening like that. They don't have to learn how to install a program. They just go on App Store and they click a button and boom, it's downloaded. They just go back to the main screen and boom, it's there. They start the game and then start playing. They start clicking on things and things happen. Kids don't have patience to learn how to play a game. They want to open the game and they want to start having fun. They don't have the patience to wait to learn how to play a game. They don't have the patience to learn how to use a computer. So recently, not very recent, I think it was like a couple of years ago, last year, I don't know. There was a study made like with kids and teens in a school to see how they performed using technology. So we're talking about kids that grew up with top technology. When we were growing up, we didn't have smartphones. We didn't have fast internet, okay? These kids nowadays, they have access to a lot of technology. So what would you expect? That these kids were like super intelligent and they knew a lot about technology. But when they did this study, I'm not going to mention the country that this study was conducted in because it's not a reflection of the country. It's a reflection of society. It's a worldwide thing. So I'm not going to mention the country just because I don't want people to think that this is what's happening in this country, because it's not. This is what's happening in the world. So when they were doing this study, well, when they finished it, the results were very unexpected. So with these results, they saw that the kids, they didn't know how to use computers. They didn't even know how to create a folder in a computer. They didn't know how to create a folder. They didn't know how to install programs. They didn't know those things. And that's because these kids, they don't have to do that anymore. They don't have to use computers anymore. They use phones and tablets now. So, sometimes tablets are much cheaper than buying a computer. So parents prefer to buy tablets for their kids. And then these kids never use computers. And then they grow up into adults that don't even know how to create folders in computers. So these are the new kids that are playing games. And that's why more complex games are not played anymore, because people don't even bother playing it. So there was an interview with the Sony ex-CEO, and he mentioned how people are not completing games anymore and how it's not worth it making long games anymore. So like, I think he mentioned, I think it was like God of War. God of War has like lots of side quests and it's a very long game, many hours, but most people don't go over 20%. So all of that, those 80% that was produced was wasted because most people are not even getting that far. That's how impatient people are now. So these are the players now. Players want quick things. They don't want to invest time and effort to learn a game or to play a game. So that's why these silly, short, quick games are so popular now. And that's why it's so profitable. Because people don't have the patience to play normal games anymore, the games that we are used to. Of course, everything I'm saying here is based on researches that I saw. I cannot confirm that this is 100% the cause, because it's hard to know what started first. It's hard to know if it was people that made the games become like this, or if it was the games changing that made people impatient. I hope you can understand me. I believe most of my subscribers are older people similar to my age. I know that because I can see in my statistics. So I know you are able to understand me, okay? I know that you can understand what I'm trying to say. And I'm hoping that you also understand that this is not black and white, okay? This is the small community. I'm a small channel, okay? We are a small community. So I feel free to speak my mind to you guys because I know you will understand. Of course, it's not black and white. It's not as simple as that, because I'm making it sound like it's quite simple, but it's not. Of course, there's so many things involved, like so many things involved. But I'm just giving you here some examples of things that are happening, some things that I've read, things that I've looked into. And I think that reflects really well like why EA is doing this to The Sims. EA is greedy. EA is greedy. Of course, they don't give a damn shit if people are going to be sad. They want to please these new kids. They want to please these new kids that are spending like $30 in a skin outfit. Those are the people they want playing their games. Those are the people that are going to be giving them good money. Do you know another thing that I noticed? A lot of channels here on YouTube now are completely targeted to kids because it gives so much money. Because there's so many thousands, millions of kids being ignored by the parents, left with a tablet in their hands, spending all day watching videos on YouTube. And those channels are making so much money. You would be so freaking surprised with the amount of kids just on the internet. Honestly, I saw a channel, I'm going to give you one example. I saw a channel that was created 2 months ago with videos targeted for kids. And in 2 months, this channel grew more than 100,000 subscribers. And this channel now has more than 1,000 viewers on live streams. And those are all kids. It's a very childish channel. This channel plays very kiddie games. And there's 1,000 kids watching these lives, not to mention the hundreds of kids watching the videos. There are lives that are like 3 hours long and it has like more than 100,000 views. Do you know what that is? Those 100,000 views are kids that are ignored by their parents, that are given tablets so they stay quiet. These kids are the targets. These kids are exactly what these companies want. Kids that spend the whole day on the tablets, on the phones, watching videos on YouTube or playing The Sims Mobile. That's the target. And if you're a kid and if you're a kid or a teen and you're not, and this is not your case, you are the exception, darling. You are the exception. You are. Think of your friends. I mean, don't even think of your friends, because if you are an exception, then it's very likely that your friends are similar to you. But think of all the kids around you. Think of the majority of the kids. Don't think about yourself, because you're probably the exception. And if you're here and if you're watching me, it's very likely that you are an exception. Because if you watch this kind of videos, then you are probably an exception. So don't think of yourself. Think of all the kids around you. Aren't most kids not doom scrolling on TikTok? Or like kids are like addicted to social media? Or most kids are like you, that understand of computers, understand of video games, have hobbies. Think of people around you. So this is why The Sims is being ended like this. Because The Sims is dead. The Sims as we know it. The Sims as we know it is dead. We're not going to have a The Sims 5. It's not profitable enough for EA to keep making it. So The Sims 4 is the last Sims as we know it. And I'm very sad. I'm hoping Paralives is going to save the day. I'm hoping that Inzoi is going to save the day, because it's very upsetting to me that The Sims is gone. I am so glad that we are having these other simulation games now, life simulation games, because can you imagine if we didn't have Inzoi or Paralives to look forward to? I would be devastated. I'm a 28-year-old woman that loves video games and I love The Sims. I love wasting my time playing The Sims, playing video games, and it makes me sad. But don't get me wrong, I have a life, okay? I have a life, I have a job, I have a real job, okay? Don't get me wrong. In my free time, I like to waste. It's not really waste, I'm just, in my free time, I like to play video games. So it's sad to it's sad to see that things are going in this direction. Anyway, enough of ranting. This video has just ended up being very long. It's just a video of me expressing my feelings. I hope you're able to understand me and what I'm trying to say here. And don't feel attacked. Oh my god, if this is your case, instead of feeling attacked, try to not be part of this statistic. Try not to be part of this number. Instead of feeling attacked, maybe you should take it as a warning. Because when you're old and when you need jobs, people are going to expect some skills from you. And creating a folder in your computer is going to be highly expected in most jobs. So don't see it as an attack to you. Instead, see it as a warning that these companies are using you. These companies are using your brain to make money. Anyway, guys, this video didn't turn out to be exactly what I wanted, but I just had to let these feelings out. And why not record a video just ranting? I don't have a lot of people in real life to talk about this, so I talk about this kind of stuff with you guys. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I know this was a very different video, and I promise the next videos are going to be different and they're going to be happier videos. I just really needed to get this out of my chest. So thank you so much if you watched up until here, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.